Welcome back, everyone. Today we're looking at a sage plant. As you can see, we let ours bloom because we like looking at the flowers. If you're trying to optimize on flavor, you'll want to trim these back before they bloom, but we found they have quite a bit of flavor even if you wait until after. So what I look for here is you can kind of distinguish where they bloomed and where they haven't. So you can focus this in. So here you can see these are all spent blooms. This one's still in bloom. So we have quite a few down here that have already bloomed. So basically, to trim these off, you can either come in and just pick individual leaves as you see fit. For us though, we're actually gonna go back, and if you can kind of see down in here, I'll try and show you. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but this is actually kind of a woody plant. So if you look way back in here, down to where my finger is here, it kind of has a woody stalk, so you actually want to trim back to that. So if you're picking leaves, you can go ahead and just trim those off by hand, so with your hand. Sorry about that. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and use the scissors and come in and pick these. So like this one is a completely spent stalk, so I'm going to go all the way back down in here to the woody stalk and just trim that off, and that'll promote more growth. And then you get something, I'll lay it out so you can kind of see something like that. And then I pick the leaves off to dry them, but then you'll want to go through and just trim back. You won't want to take more than about 1/3 of the plant at a time just to let it grow. We've already harvested once this year. So it just continues to bloom, it seems like, the more we cut it back. So like I said, we're just going to keep going through, cutting back at the woody stem and then pulling out these fronds. It's definitely okay if you get some flowers with it, but we'll do that until you cut back about 1/3 of the plant, and then we'll go on with how to dry it. And keep in mind, if you don't want that much, you just want enough for a recipe, you can sure come in here and pull off like a leaf like this, because a lot of recipes you only need a handful of leaves. So I'll keep trimming this back and then we'll go on how to dry it. We have our bundle of sage here, which you can see it actually is kind of a nice bouquet if you want to store that inside for a couple of days. It's very, very fragrant, so it'll bring a very fresh smell to your house as well. But a few ways you can dry it are, you could definitely go ahead and take like each individual thing here and just hang it in a cupboard. This will obviously take a lot longer to dry, just because the stems have a lot of moisture in them. Another way is we have a dehydrator here. So this is our preferred way, is we'll go through and we will rinse all of these and actually pick off the leaves, so you have something like that, and then lay them out flat on the dehydrator, you know, on a dish like this, and then we run it for, I want to say it's about 5 hours at 110. So it's not too hot that it'll volatilize the oils within the sage, but it really dries it out to a nice crisp, and then we'll get it down to a sage flake to use in recipes. You could keep them whole and just blend up as you need them in recipes, or put a whole sage leaf in your recipes. Finally, you could dry, if you don't have a dehydrator and you don't want to hang them up, get some of those cookie cooling trays. And again, you'll want to pick off the individual leaves like this and then just let them sit out. You'll want to turn them every day or two just to make sure they don't get moldy. But they should dry out within 4 to 7 days. But like I said, it's real quick in the dehydrator, and then we just grind ours up and save for use in a recipe. So hopefully that helps you with your kind of harvesting and drying. If you want, there's a link down below to a blog post that will include all of your planting, growing tips, because we did not cover that in this video. But if you want to learn more about that, that'll be down below. And we'll also check out our next video on kind of the benefits of sage and what you can use them for. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us, and have a great day.